Yamini ma'am, please start.
Good evening, everyone. I am CA Yamini Gujar, moderator of this webinar. We are delighted to welcome you all in the webinar being organized by CCLEA and NPO Committee of ICAI. It is my pleasure to be moderator in this webinar as professional opportunity for CA in cooperatives. On 8th May from 5 to 7 p.m. Been organized by Committee on Commercial Law, Economic Advisory and NPO Cooperative of ICAI. In short while, we are going to start with this webinar, and I would like to appraise you about CCLEA and NPO committee. This committee is focused to encourage chartered accountants to shape strategy and policy that unlocks economic, financial, and social value while combining analytical foresight with commercial acumen. One of the core area of this committee is to serve the multifunctional task of analysis, knowledge dissemination, inputs to regulator on policy formulation to develop and publish technical guidance, background material, etc., and to create awareness for professional opportunities for CAs in commercial laws, economic advisory, and NPO committee. Our eminent speaker will talk on this professional opportunity for CA in cooperatives in this webinar, and we hope that same shall be useful to the members. Uh, we will brief you about our speaker, CA Anil Kumar Agrawal, sir. We welcome you, sir. Sir has done BCom honors from SRCC. He has done CWA, CA, DSA, company secretary. He has also passed LLB. He's practicing in the name and style of Messrs. Dadu and Associates Chartered Accountants. He has also served as a committee member in NIRC of ICAI. He has also served as convener of Lakshmi Nagar CPE Study Circle. He has addressed various seminars. He is also a legal advisor with Agrawal Vikas Manch. His educational qualification are like he has got first rank in North India in CS Inter. He is certified peer reviewer, certified cooperative auditor, concurrent auditor, certified forensic auditor, and the list goes on. So we welcome you, sir. We welcome you, and you can start with our session.
Anil sir, can you hear us? Sir, can you hear us? Hello.
Anil sir, we welcome you. Are you able to hear?
Hello.
Yes, sir. We welcome you,
Am
sir.
I audible?
Yes, yes.
Actually, Yamini, I cannot hear your voice actually.
Sir, am I audible? Hello. Tech support, please check. Anil sir is not able to hear us.
Hello. Hello, Anil sir. Hello. Hello, Anil sir. Hello.
Anil sir, are you able to hear us? You can start with the session.
Sir is rejoining.
Okay, okay.
Okay. Sir, am I audible? Hello, sir. Am I audible?
Yeah. I hope I'm audible now.
Yes, sir. I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Hello, Anil sir. Hello, Anil sir.
हेलो, मेरी आवाज आ रही है सर आपकी? हाँ, अच्छा। और मेरी शेयर्ड है वो? सर शेयर नहीं है, बट आवाज आ रही है। आपको हमारी आ रही है सर? नहीं आ रही मुझे ना। सो पता नहीं आपकी आ रही है क्लियरली। कैसे होगा अगर आप लोग की आवाज नहीं आएगी? ये मैं वो शेयर हो गई, स्क्रीन आ गई? नहीं सर, स्क्रीन नहीं आ रही। स्क्रीन दोबारा करूँ क्या? देखिए, स्क्रीन शेयरिंग करता हूँ। वो जो आपका टेक्निकल बंदा है ना, उसको बोल दो कि जस्ट पीपीटी ओपन करके से बस वही शेयर करना आप। जी। आ गई है? पीपीटी आ गया? नहीं सर, नहीं आई। ऐसे आएगी। स्क्रीन शेयर तो करिए सर। पीपीटी ओपन करिए, टैब पे फिर स्क्रीन शेयर करना। पीपीटी तो मैंने कर दिया। स्क्रीन शेयर पे करिए, जूम पे लाके। जूम पे स्क्रीन शेयर तो कर दिया मैंने। नहीं आ रहा सर कुछ भी। पहले तो नजर आ रहा था आपको। एक बार ये आप टेक्निकल वाले को बोलिए, अभी पहले तो नजर आ रहा था।
नहीं आ रहा सर।
मुझे वहां से भी आवाज नहीं आ रही ना। My PPT is now visible. Hello? Hello? Yes? Yes? हाँ सर बोलिए. Am I audible? Fine sir, fine.
Yes, sir, you are audible. You can start, sir.
Yeah, I hope I'm audible. I'm sorry because of some technical problems. I could not started the session on time. I First of all, I would like to thanks to the committee on cooperatives and NPOs for giving me this opportunity for today, giving my thoughts on a particular topics of professional opportunity in the area for cooperative. My colleagues Yamni is supporting me today as a moderator and would like to convey your messages and your questions to me. So not taking much time, I would like to start on the topic subjects immediately. So today I hope all my colleagues who have joined this today's session, they are here to enhance their knowledge about this particular area of cooperative where they can enhance their professional opportunity or they can dig out some more professional opportunity in the cooperative area. I believe that colleagues have joined from all over India and they have a knowledge of this particular topic, which I am assuming. In today's deliberation, I would like to draw your attention towards the areas where, as a chartered accountant, we can render our services. What are those areas which I'll try to explain so that these areas can be pursued and we can enhance our professional opportunity in these areas. So let us give, I'm trying to give you a brief. What is the cooperative sector and what are the broad areas where we can render the services to the society, to our client. I'm trying to segregate the cooperative sectors as good as a company. As a chartered accountant, when we render our services to the company, you can see the broad areas are auditing, which may be statutory audit, which may be internal audit, which may be a management audit, which can be a concurrent audit or any other kind of audit. We also render our services in the accounting area for the companies. We do maintain the accounting for the small companies, render the services towards filing the TDS returns, filing the income tax returns. We do advise the companies also on various aspects wherever the company requires. And we do give our consultancy to the management on the various topics which are related to particularly the Companies Act and the other applicable acts, rules and regulations to that particular kind of company. So I'm just trying to convey that cooperative is also a company. Although this organization is incorporated under a separate law, which is known as the Cooperative Act. Like a Companies Act and the company's rules, here we also have a Cooperative Act and cooperative rules. And this Cooperative Act and rules, they are basically the domain area of the format. Like companies that these are the area of the law and rules are under the guidance of I believe my link was broken. I have rejoined. I hope again my PPT is visible.
Visible, sir.
Yeah, thank you. So what I was trying to tell my colleagues here that the cooperative is an area which is looked after into by the respective government, respective state government, respective union government, union state government, union territory, which I would say. And the cooperative laws are enacted based on 7 principles, and the main principle is they cooperate to each other. The broad principle of this concept, cooperative, is that when we formulate this particular kind of organization, the main principle is to help each other. We should have a common objective. We should form a organization with that common objective, and the principle is to help each other. The help may be in the shape of any kind of help, whether it may be a joint rendering of services, it may be a joint purchasing, it may be a joint selling of goods, it may be a sharing power in the cooperative society, it may be a limited power, means one person cannot control, and mutuality is there, that when we are going to work, we select few people amongst themselves who lead as a management in the cooperative society, and they take the decisions on behalf of the members. They do organize the monthly meetings, they do organize the annual meetings of the shareholder, and every member of the cooperative society, irrespective of the number of shares he has only one vote. It is not like the company where he will have the voting power in accordance with the holding of the number of shares. There is also stipulation about the number of shares which a one person can maximum be held in a cooperative society. Irrespective of number of shares, you will count it as a one person. So when we formulate this cooperative sector, we can say this cooperative sector or this cooperative society is not a non-profit area. It is a profit area. When we formulate a simple society under the Society Registration Act 1860, or we incorporate the trust under the Trust Act 1912. So they are basically formed for the purpose of charitable or some public interest activity. But here, when we formulate the company, formulate the cooperative society, not the company, with the object of rendering some services. So let us understand what are the area where we can render our services of as a chartered accountant in the area which is known as a cooperative sector. So let us go one by one. Briefly, I have just shown you that auditing is the biggest area because we chartered accountants are known as a person who having the great knowledge of this particular area of auditing. And we are a specialized person in this area. So as I told you that in auditing, we have a very vast area. Now we have to understand that what kind of auditing. Let me give an example under the Cooperative Act also. We have a multiple kinds of auditing. Let us say first one, which is a statutory audit. In the respective state where these cooperative societies are formulated or where they are constituted, the respective cooperative acts prescribe in a particular sections, which is known as auditing. So maximum cooperative acts prescribe the chartered accountant will perform the audit. This statutory audit. And they also call for the panels from the chartered accountants. They categorize the chartered accountants according to their ranking, the size, number of partners. Then they divide these panels into a category of society in terms of turnover. The like the firm chartered accountant firm having 5 or more chartered accountants can render the audit services to any society, or a chartered accountant firm having the 4 partner, they can render the services of auditing to a society less than, let's say, 5 crore of turnover. Yeah. No, my PPT is same. I am just explaining the auditing. Okay. I'm sorry, can you repeat? No, I am not changing the slides. My slide is showing auditing, accounting advisors and the members. Now, this is my next slides. I think now you can, various things I may speak here without going through the respective slides. I'm just sharing my thoughts, all these slides, whatever is written, I've already spoken. So I've already told, the 2 kinds of organizations known as charitable or a public kind of things. The society, the simple society or the trust. I was just talking about the cooperative sector in a respective state. Of course, here we can find another kind of cooperative society. Let's say cooperative society who would like to work in different states, more than one states. So now these cooperative societies are required to be, registered under the Multi-State Cooperative Act, where the registrar office for this Multi-State Cooperative Act is situated in Delhi. So for that purpose, they have to present their applications. And these applications for the multi-state cooperative society would go to the respective registrar of those states. where you are proposing to have your proposed society working. The one condition that the proposed state should be neighboring to each other, not there must be a difference. Like, for example, if you are based in Haryana, then any other state which are surrounding the Haryana only or touching the boundary of Haryana, only those states you can apply for working together. Like one state can be Haryana and the another state can be a Rajasthan or can be a Punjab or can be a Delhi, because these are the three states which are in neighboring states for Haryana. You can't have Bombay or Maharashtra along with Haryana state because they are not neighboring. Sometimes when we talks about cooperative societies, there is another terms which we comes and confronted many times. It is known as the cooperative banks also. So cooperative banks are basically the cooperative society. And these cooperative societies are basically into lending services. They they are kind of thrift and credit society. What is the thrift and credit society? That where the members are contributing a compulsory money every month, and out of this collected compulsory money, we select few peoples, the few members, not the outsider. The one beauty of this cooperative is that we work for each other, we for one common objective. So the people who are giving services or giving any input in the cooperative society, only those people are basically availing. But it is not necessary condition. For an example, in thrift and credit society, it is compulsory that you get monthly contribution from societies, and you collected this money, and few members of your cooperative societies are seeking a loan. So for example, I have a, let's say, 2000 members who are contributing 1 lakh rupee. So what I got 20 lakh rupees, for example. And let's say my limit for giving loan as per the registrar approval is 1 lakh rupee maximum. So I can give my money to minimum 20 people. If I going to distribute 1 lakh rupee as a loan, I have a 20 lakh rupees, so I can give a loan to 20 people. But if I choose not to give 1 lakh to each person, I choose some people for 1 lakh, some people for 50,000 rupees, or some people for 25,000 rupees. So it can be more than 20 people. Whenever the management take the decisions to disburse the loan out of this collected money, they disperse and the money based on the criteria already framed, that what is the repayment capacity, as in the case of bank, when how much a loan should be given to a member, because they calculate what is the repayment capacity. So similarly here also the management formulate the policies how to calculate the loan limit of a particular person based on their earnings. So cooperative banks, if thrift and credit society becomes a cooperative bank once they cross a number of a limit of a number of members. Let's say, I think this is a 2000 member or 3000 member. Earlier, it may be, I think, 2000. So if you are a thrift and credit society, if you have a 2000 member, and now you are crossing those limits of 2000 members, then you can apply for a cooperative bank's license from the Reserve Bank of India. So here, cooperative societies are basically working under the supervision and administrative control of Registrar of Cooperative Society. except in the case of a cooperative bank, where there is a dual supervision and control. One of the registrar of cooperative society, that is with respect to administrative side, and with respect to financial side, the control or the supervision lies with the Reserve Bank of India. So thrift and credit society is the society where there is a dual control and supervision. One is from the registrar of cooperative society and another is the Reserve Bank. In the case of a multi-state cooperative society, the dual control is one from, generally the control lies to the multi-state registrar. But multi-state registrar cannot do each and everything because you are scattered in different states, and the respective registrar of the state where you are operating your activity, they do call for reports from that registrar of the state where you are working. So as per the act, everything control and the supervision lies with the registrar of multi-state cooperative society. For a society who are working in more than one state, however, this registrar is also taking help indirectly, not directly. For example, when you are applying for a formation, then multi-state cooperative society, the registrar of multi-state cooperative societies, take the confidential reports from the registrar of the state where you are proposed to work. You are a new society, and in the first instance, you would like to work for a work in the more than one state. So definitely they will seek the reports from that particular state registrar, because ultimately you are going to work in that state. So they will be seeking that whether there is a need of your society services in that area or not. And if you are already there, or let's say when you are going to give the details of the member, because there is a one condition for creating the multi-state cooperative society, that you should have a 50 members at least from one state. Let's say if I propose to incorporate a multi-state cooperative society, then I should have 50 members from each state. Let's say I have 50 members at least from Delhi and 50 members at least from Haryana. So there should be 100 members. And in management committee, of course, the management people can be only from these two states only, not from any other state. So when there are details of the members, their identity as provided, of course, these are subject to confirmation from the respective registrar of the states for verification purposes. So I just try to convey that, the simple society, simple trust, which are normally mandated for public activity or charitable activity. Of course, the trust can be formed for public purpose also or private purpose also. However, the simple society under the Society Registration Act can only be formed for the purpose of public interested objectives. Otherwise, you cannot form the society under the society registration. Barring this, cooperative society can be formed for any purpose. The purpose may not be not earning the profit. It may be earning the profit. Because what is the main objective? Let's say we 10 people comes together and we are, let's say, producing some item. As an individual, if I go in the market and procure my inputs item or raw material item, I may not get the item at a good rates because my buying capacity is the less number of items, less quantity. So I cannot bargain as an individual. However, if we 10 people comes together, we form a society, then as a society, the society is going to buy that particular quantity item in a bigger quantity. Then after procuring those quantity, of course, these items can be distributed at a defined price to each member. So the objective of to create this cooperative society is to bring the many interested peoples having the common object into a one umbrella. Not necessarily this cooperative society will work for not earning the profit. It can be earning the profit or it cannot be earning the not earning the profit. However, members will earn the profit through or with the help of cooperative society. So it is kind of a business activity. The cooperative society may render activity which can termed as a commercial activity or a business activity. So when there is a objective of business or commercial activity, as a chartered accountant, of course, like a company is also running for earning the profit. So cooperative societies are also running the operation for earning the profit, not for society as such, for their members. Example are thrift and credit society where we are collecting the money from our members only and we giving the money on loans to our member only. We charge interest to the member to we have advanced the loan and the money which we are collecting on every month, we are also giving them an interest. Of course, there is a difference in the interest rate like a bank who offered you less rate on deposit than the higher rate on the loans advanced. That gap is required to meet out the administrative expenses. As per the Cooperative Act, as mandatory given under the respective Cooperative Act, in if I give an example in Delhi, 3% margin should be there between the deposit rate and the lending rate. You can have a more margin, but 3% is minimum. That 3% is to take care of administrative expenses as well as the dividend on the share capital. There is no compulsion to give dividend because shares are taken, share money is taken, and if there is a profit, of course, you will declare the dividend. So as a chartered accountant, now you can think that cooperative societies are as good as a company. Because here you find all kind of services which they require from a chartered accountant, where the chartered accountant can render any kind of services which they can render to a society. Of course, there are certain limitation in terms of remuneration as far as the audit fees is concerned, because the cooperative society always give a plea that we are the simple society, our turnover is less, and we are just formed for the purpose of helping to each other. So, and of course, there is a administrative guidance on the audit fees from the registrar of a particular state that you will charge the fees based on these criteria and the rates which have been suggested in the respective cooperative act by the registrar of cooperative society, they are basically not revised from the last 10 to 15. So we need to accumulate ourselves as a chartered accountant. We need to represent on these particular weak area where our remuneration is not enhanced by the respective chartered accountant society, respective societies or respective registrar of the states. So we need a strong representation to Ministry of that particular state or representation to the registrar of that particular state. to revise the audit fees, because their audit fees is not as such which can be mutually decided. They have already fixed. I'm talking about the fee only for statutory audit or concurrent audit or tax audit. Otherwise, all other services are not subject to any existing limitations of remuneration. It is only because the regular activity is stat audit of cooperative society. So they have a criteria that you will have a 4 rupee per thousand, then up to 10 lakhs. Then for next 10 lakhs, you will have a 3 rupee per thousand. For the next, let's say 10 lakh, 15 lakhs, you will have a 2 rupees. They have a, this kind of, under the Income Tax Act, you have a brackets where you will see the increase rate of tax. But in cooperative society, there is a brackets where you will see the decrease rate of audit remuneration. So it is a vice versa. So we need to make an efforts through our respective regional councils, respective committees to represent our case. Because you see, when as a chartered accountant, we render the services, we have to render the services and provide our audit reports in accordance with the act of that particular state. More or less, the contents of the audit reports are same, because all acts are copied from one state to another state. But we have to fulfill our responsibilities as auditors. We have to vouch and verify and do our audit as per the guidance given by the institutes for audit purpose. So, like in a cooperative bank, when the cooperative banks, which are basically a cooperative society, let me tell you and clarify that cooperative banks are cooperative society. The only thing, they have a additional license to work as a bank. So otherwise, they come under the dual control. One is the registrar of the cooperative society, and for financial matters or supervision matters, they comes under the supervision of Reserve Bank of India for filing the returns, etc. But to registrar for appointing the auditor, they need to follow the state registrar's policies. Of course, nowadays, now Reserve Bank has prescribed and revised the policies for auditors to be appointed for cooperative banks. So, of course, the auditors is going to be selected from the auditors panels, which is prepared by a particular state. If let's say I'm working in Delhi, I cannot do the audit of a cooperative society which is incorporated in Maharashtra. The Maharashtra registrar definitely will prepare a panel where the company or audit firms operating from Maharashtra will be part of that panel. Every registrar call for the panels. However, I heard in many states, still the audits are being conducted through the departmental auditors. So recently I visited to Patna, where I come to know, though there is a panel, but societies are given the option whether to go for an audit from a departmental auditor or from a chartered accountant. So as a organizations or as a institute or as a member, I think we need to advocate for our services. We need to highlight the quality of our services and the quality of the departmental auditors. Because when we require audit, the audit means something. It is not only a chartered accountant is known and a specialized person. A departmental auditor cannot. Of course, when they work in this department, they have a fixed performer for the audit reports. They just go and fill those performer only, but they do not, in my opinion only, they do not conduct the audit in depth or as per the objective of the audit. So we as a chartered accountant can get a good opportunity to do stat audit, to do internal audit, to do concurrent audit, to do management audit, to do EDP audit, to do stock and book debts audits also, like in the banks. So here I'm just going to highlight the other area. In my first slide, I spoke about auditing, I spoke about accounting aspects also. I spoke about advisory aspects also. So what are the areas where you can give the advices? These are the area where you can give the advice. You can advise for planning and budgeting for the cooperative society. You can look into accounting system. You can do reporting, management reporting, MIS. You can also render supervisory as a consultant. You can render your services in terms of good investments where they should invest the surplus money. How they do compliances with Reserve Bank of India or the Registrar of Cooperative Society. How they can participate under the social security schemes of the government. How they can get the subsidy. And you can help as a chartered accountant in formulating their financial policies also. What should be terms and conditions of giving the loans, what kind of policy they should have. Of course, the audit is one. Then you can also help them what they should be their management structure. Of course, they have to follow the rules of the Registrar of Cooperative Society under the Cooperative Act, which mandate that every 3 years there should be an election. And there are number of the management seats which are decided. There is a minimum number 7, let's say, or maximum depending upon of members. In case you are in more than one state, then every state will have a on representative. Then representative of both the state will comes into a main management. So apart from the statutory requirement of management, you can suggest some add-on structures under the control of those elected body. A person cannot be an expert who is elected, because a simple member can come to an election and fight for the election and can get be elected. But it is not necessary that he is an expert in financial management. So as a chartered accountant, we can render our services on these areas. Audit, I have explained in depth, and rest of the area as a chartered accountant, we know very well. Like for investment, I just give you in Cooperative Act, they have provisions also that if you have a surplus money, then where it has to be, invested, where you can invest. Yeah. Sorry, I was informed that my PPTs were not rolling. So I hope now you'll get the complete picture. So I was talking about, you know, the kind of area where as a chartered accountant we can render our services. So now move further. As a chartered accountant, what services we can render? As I try to explain, we can help our client in making formalities. You can help the client as usually you are doing, that you can form the registration part. Then of course you can also render the services for deregistration or dissolution of any trust society or a cooperative society. Then you can help regarding what is the stamp duty applicable. You can help them on various area which are related to income tax issues. As a company, as I told, auditing, accounting, advisory, taxation, everything is applicable to a cooperative society. So now, as I spoke, registration, deregistration, stamp duty, tax matters, these are other more areas. As we just saw regarding advices on of affairs, advising on when you are a new cooperative society like a company, the first annual general body meeting. So the first general body meeting, not the annual general body, the first general body meetings, how to be called, how frame the agenda, give the notices as per the act, whether it can be given through speed post or it can be given on WhatsApp or through other modes. Then, of course, the annual general body meetings also, sometimes in the case of a company, you conduct the general body meetings during the course of the years also, or annual general body meetings after completion of your accounts also. Similarly, in the case of a cooperative society, these process has to follow. Then after formulations of helping in opening the bank accounts, then helping in making the good and sound financial policies to earn profit for distribution to member. Then you can advise on resolving internal disputes. Like, in case of a cooperative society, in case of a cooperative society, there are internal disputes. How to help your management to resolve these disputes? So we need to help as a arbitrator, as a panelist. If there is any disputes among the members and the management, then you can render your services as a mediator. In case there is some casual vacancy, you can help the management how to fill the casual vacancy and how to co-opt the member from the existing member. Then you can advise the managements about the rights of the members. So this management should know about those rights. Sometimes member may seek certain informations as a chartered accountant, as a consultant, as an advisor. You can tell the managements which informations you are obliged to provide or which informations you are not obliged to provide. Rights and duties of the management committee members, whether they have to call a monthly meetings and take the decision, approvals of the loans and regular decisions, expenses, approvals of your financial policies, approvals of your budgets. Then you can help the management to attend the meetings of their federations. For many cooperative society, another cooperative society can be formed where the existing cooperative society can become the member, or an individual can also become the member. These kind of cooperative societies are called as a federation of cooperative society. So federation of cooperative society can be formed for each respective area. We need to bear in our mind that when we go for incorporation of a cooperative society, there should not be a concentrations of various number of a cooperative society in a particular area. Because let's say there are 100 members who need the help of a cooperative society. How can we form over there in that area 20 cooperative society or 10 cooperative society? If we form 10 cooperative society for 100 people, whether it is advisable to have only 10 members in a cooperative society? Of course, a member can become a member in more than one cooperative society, but a person cannot become a management person in more than one cooperative society of same kind. For example, I can become a management committee member in thrift and credit society and a vegetable society or a transport society, different kinds. But I cannot become a management person in two thrift and credit society or two transport society or two vegetable society. If we look in rural areas, the kind of society which are formed, which are the PACs, the primary agriculture society, who helps the farmers in procuring the basic inputs material for their cultivation activity, growing activities or fishing activities, and they also help in collections of the productions and for the sale in the market at a good rate. As an individual, you know that it is not possible for an individual person, but as a collective person, or which is collective person means the cooperative society, you can have a good rates. So you can purchase the items at a good rate, at a low rate, and sell the items at a high rate. So you get a good power, which is known as a bargaining power. So as a cooperative society, get a good bargaining power. And instead of approaching as an individual in the market, people likes to form the cooperative society and work under the guidance of that cooperative society, because cooperative society can employ somebody who is an expert in that area, and individual person cannot bear the cost of that expertise. But as a cooperative society, the cost can be shared through the cooperative society, because ultimately the cost is paid by the cooperative society, and that can be inbuilt in the services which cooperative societies is rendering. So cooperative societies gives you a good opportunity to render the services. You can be a retainer. You can be a advisor. You can be a mediator. You can be a drafter or providing kind of legal services under the rules. So here you can see, the all services which a company is required. I, as a chartered accountant, can render all those services to a cooperative society, because cooperative societies are also earning profit. They, of course, they are not meant for earning profit for itself. They are meant for rendering services to their members or for their members. If, as a chartered accountant, if we heard about a concept of mutuality, so mutuality talks about that the the contributor the contributor and the beneficiary should be same. That is the concept of mutuality. Who is contributing, he must be the beneficiary of that contribution ultimately. For example, I contributed as a money, which money is lended to my members, and interest is earned. Out of that interest, interest is given on my deposit, and there are certain profits or margin is there, and that margin is shared among the members as a dividend on their share capital. So here, if you find the contributor and the beneficiaries are common, then the concept of mutuality is fulfilled. But in case of cooperative society, it is not mandatory that you are following the mutuality concept. That is why if you see, the income under the mutuality concept is not taxable, because no income is earned. For example, in RWA, we collecting the money from our members and we spending that money for the common services. So as far as we are only doing or rendering services on behalf of the members, if anything remains at the end of the years, it is not known as a profit. It is known as a surplus, which is going to be utilized in next year. So we can simply say that nothing is taxable in our hand. But in case of a cooperative society, it is not so. Because I'm just giving one example. I procured some inputs item for my members, for my agriculturists. Or let's say if I'm a transport society, I'm procuring the buses, I am giving, not on procuring buses, there are certain members who are having the buses. Now, as a cooperative society, I found the person who required the buses. So they require, let's say, 10 buses. So these buses from my members, I, as a contractor, being a cooperative society, I can enter into a contract with that person and provide my services. So my members who having the buses can go there and render the service under the name of that cooperative. Let's say I am a vegetable society, I am a milk producer society. So what I can do, I can procure the milk from my members and sell to somebody outsider. So in cooperative society, the mutuality is not necessary, that my contributor, who is my member or my beneficiary, can be a outsider person. That is why the income of a cooperative society is taxable under the Income Tax Act However, as a chartered accountant, you can provide your specialized service. You can divide the total activity into two parts. The one part, the services from your members and availed by members only. Giving you the example, money collected as a RWA or as a cooperative society from your members and spending the money on behalf of your members. Giving an example, let's say the cooperative society is having a godown which is they have taken on rent, where the cultivations or the growings of your farmers members are being stored. So what I am doing, I am paying rent for godowns on behalf of my members only. So what I am doing, if anything left out in the hand of a cooperative society, it is not a surplus, it is not a income. So always divide the activity of your organizations into two parts. One, which is a common activity among the members, and the another one, which is not a common activity, means from non-members. So common activity will fall under the definition of mutuality, and non-member activity will fall under the not will fall under the definition of mutuality. It will fall under taxability under the Income Tax Act. So as an experts, you render these kind of services also. Not much people render these kind of services. Now you can do accounting, auditing, maintaining statutory registers, like in under the Companies Act, we do maintain some register required under the act, like membership register is there, minutes books are also required, loan books is also required, accounting is also required. Elections, as an election officer, you can also render yourself. Now, as I told that even the taxation is also applicable. Like taxation is applicable to companies or the corporate, you need to obtain PAN and TAN number because the income is subject to tax. Some which income which is not subject to mutuality, non-member services. Then, of course, you need to deduct the TDS also on various payments. When cooperative societies is making any payment to, let's say, lawyer or professional or the contractor, they need to deduct TDS and deposit and file the tax TDS returns. So, of course, in companies also doing this. File the income tax returns. Under the Income Tax Act, there is a specific provisions for filing the tax returns by the cooperative society. They have a tax brackets up to 10,000, 10%, next 10,000, 20%, then next whatever is there, 30%. Because they don't want that cooperative society should have an interest, income. So they just given the slabs that first 10,000, 10%, next 10,000, 20%, then more than 20,000, 30%. Because they are expecting that the cooperative societies are formed not for the purpose of profit, they are only for the purpose of rendering services to members among themselves. Like service tax was applicable, VAT was applicable, now GST is also applicable to the cooperative. If cooperative society is selling some goods which is subject to GST, then of course the GST number is applicable. Different kind of cooperative society has a different kind of GST applicability. For example, if you are dealing in milk, I think milk is exempt. If you are dealing in vegetables, the vegetables is exempt. If you are in some agricultural activity, it is exempt. Some farming activity, it is exempt. In some fishing activity, it is exempt. But let's say the cooperative society, now giving an example, the house building society, group housing society, like those are, providing flats to the member, those are providing plots to the member. So these cooperative societies are given some exemption limit. If their monthly maintenance charges bill is up to 7,500, then there is no need to charge the GST. Otherwise, there is need to charge the GST. Now, for a cooperative society which is not in the maintenance services, then simple limit of 20 lakh, because the cooperative societies are rendering services. If they are into a selling services, then limit of 40 lakh as per the respective cooperative state act, the GST limit is applicable. So they have to follow the GST rules act as well. So now through this whole discussion, I think now you are able to understand that the cooperative societies are just another name in terms of different activity, different objectives. Otherwise, the compliance under the act, known as Companies Act or under the Cooperative Act, are more or less same. Only the authorities are different. Otherwise, as a chartered accountant, our services remain same. Already we discussed all budget preparations, tax plannings, loan documentation assistant, registration with different government departments for getting the subsidy. Cooperative society is also having the objective of providing training services to government departments. This we have already discussed. So the another opportunity is regarding the arbitration. Concern or the election officer panel is concerned, apart from the auditor panel, the registrar also make a panel as a election officer persons or as a arbitrator, because there are disputes disputes among the members and the management. So when these disputes reach or not able to solve within the cooperative society, of course the member will approach to the registrar against the society, or the management will go to the registrar against the member. For example, if I given a loan and the loan is not repaid, the management will file a case before the registrar of cooperative society for recovery of loan. There is another beauty in the cooperative that you need not to go to the civil court for recovery. There is a court with the registrar of cooperative society itself, and the registrar of cooperative society, if there is a particular department, the loan recovery department, and they follow the process as per the act. So first, whenever you go and file the case there against the member, so they refer the matter first. They consider whether this is a matter which is a fit matter for arbitration. Once deputy registrar decide, then they refer the case file to the arbitrator, which is chosen from the panel. Under this panel, the various kind of peoples, a chartered accountant can also enroll themselves, or some retired bureaucrats or any other person of repute. So also the same kind of panel as election officer, chartered accountant can be enrolled as election officer whenever elections are not able to held in a voluntary manner within the society. To in that cases, registrar appoints outsider who is known as the election officer. Sometimes, but the pending audits, pending accountings is there. The registrar can order and they can choose the name from the panel of the auditor or panel of, arbitrator, etc. And they can appoint as a person who has to complete. There is another panel which is known as the administrator panel. When the cooperative society management is not able to survive because of expiry of the election period. So because as I told that the election period is 3 years, let's say due to some reason the election is not able to held, then the existing member cannot continue more than 3 months. For that also they need to call a general body meeting and pass a resolution, and they will have to constitute a temporary committee. Otherwise, even for 1 minute, they cannot work further and their power are seized. So in that case, registrar appoint the people from the administrator panel to run the society till the elections are held. So here the administrator come election officer are appointed by the registrar. Now you can nowadays, as per the various high court judgments, the website, the various kind of documents are required to be uploaded, like your annual reports, your members' accounts, etc. Of course, there is a one limitation that as per the secrecy or as per the Cooperative Act, every member is not given the power to get the information about the another member. The member can have the information only about himself or about his affairs with the society. The RTA Act, Right to Information Act, is not applicable to the cooperative society. However, the Cooperative Act itself have one section in the Act which work in place of a Right to Information Act, which provides some rights to the member or the creditors to have some information. But what information they can have, who can have various limitations. Of course, the information is required to be given within the 30 days, otherwise there is a penalty for not providing. The section which is inbuilt in the Act rules is work as a right to information, but it is not exactly the Right to Information Act. Right to information, what you may find, but it is not a Right to Information Act which is applicable in total. They have their own particular section for right to information. In right to information, anybody can seek, information about from any government department, because the cooperative societies are not government department. They are not giving funding. The government is not having any stake, no ownership. Sometimes when the audit is done, even the re-audit orders are there. So chartered accountants have another opportunity. Now talks about foreign remittance. If let's say your cooperative society is importing something or is need to remit some money, so they sometimes need the certificates from the chartered accountants, or this cooperative societies need to get some assistance from the governments, some subsidy in sort of interest rate. Let's say a cooperative society is going to formulate or to construct a go down for the help of the farmers. Now they seek a loan from the banks or assistance from the government. So government through the with the help of banks can provide assistance in the form of capital subsidy or interest rate subsidy or some other kind of subsidy, which can be a sales tax subsidy, VAT subsidy, excise subsidy. Now excise, etc., all have been some into VAT. So these kind of financial assistance, whenever they are availing, so in those cases, the help of a chartered accountant to issue a certificate is also arise. So you can render these kind of services also. So now the basic questions arise now. We know these kind of services are required, but how to get this opportunity? To get this opportunity to attend the seminars and programs where the representative of these cooperative societies are attending, you should have a good knowledge about the act applicable to them. You are expert in this field. You have a rapport with the department officials for, applying as an administrator, come election officer, as an arbitrator. So you need to apply and become a panelist under the panel, and you need to meet the builders, developers, because in some states housing sector constructions can only be allowed only after formation of a cooperative society like in Maharashtra. So you need to move around on these stakeholders and get the opportunity to work with them. Areas have been discussed, stakeholder have been discussed, kind of services have been discussed. So now I would like the forum can be open for answer to the questions of the participants of the today webinar. So this today discussion can be fruitful, and they can try to explore this opportunity in this particular area. So now I request that the questions bank can be open. Yeah. Hello. Hello. Is the moderator available? Can I look for a question and answer?
Hello, sir. Thank you for such a wonderful presentation and explanation about the professional opportunities in cooperative. I hope you are able to hear me.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes. Sir, I'm just going through the admin panel for question answers.
Yeah.
There are no such questions. Just the feedback that it is the excellent webinar.
If anybody would like, you can give an opportunity that we can open mic for them also. Because sometimes the people may not able to put the questions. We can request the participants if anybody is interested for any questions here. Is there any chat box where people can put their query?
Actually, sir, there is a query box over their screen where they can put the query, and that query is reflected on the portal which I have the access.
Okay,
So there is no such query as of now.
okay.
So I think we can wait for a few minutes.
Yeah,
If
we can,
anybody
yeah,
have.
we can wait. Yeah, we can wait for a few minutes. See. Meanwhile, I'll just give a more information that in the case of a multi-state cooperative society, there is a registrar who is sitting in Delhi. They have a separate office and it is working under the Ministry of Corporations. And all the cooperative society who would like to continue or would like to run their operations in more than one state, they are required to submit their registration applicable online. They have a website. Every state registrar have their own audit panels. Also, they get the audit done through the department. Many states have discontinued the policy of getting the audit done from the department or auditor. Still, few states continue, and for multi-state cooperative society, the all chartered accountant who are panel with the CAG, they have been automatically brought in the panel under two category. One is the major category, another is the normal category. Under the major category, every chartered accountant who is eligible for professional fees more than 5 lakh rupees as per the CAG criteria, they have been put into the major category. And any cooperative society, the multi-state cooperative society having turnover, let's say more than 5 crore, they are compulsory required to get the audit from that chartered accountant whose name is appearing in the major category. Apart from this, in Delhi especially, every 3 years the panel is prepared and there are 6 kind of category A, B, C, D, E, F. And these categories are further divided based on the turnover up to which these audit firms can be audited. Normally, a chartered accountant firm can conduct the audit for 5 societies, any kind of 5 societies. And plus, in addition, they can also conduct 3 more societies, means there they can do the audit 5 plus 3. The 3 societies should not have a audit turnover of more than rupees 5 lakh, means the very minimum turnover. For that, they have fixed the limit of 2,500 plus GST. And in Delhi, when the panel is formed, only the chartered accountant firms, those are having their head office or the principal office, can apply here for panel. Similarly, in other states, they are the same kind of policy is being adopted. It is not like that, a person who's practicing in Delhi can go and, become under the panel of Maharashtra or some other states. Multi-states cooperative societies are also making panels, but not for the chartered accountant. They are simply just taking the panel from the CAG only. So these are the basic information which I would like to share. In case we have any query at this moment, otherwise we can seek the permission for ending this session today. And We also do apologize for the disturbance which we had faced in the initial starting of this today's seminar also. Some technical issues were there. And lastly, would like to thanks to my moderator Yamni as well as other technical support staff and the committee for cooperatives and NPO for organizing this webinar today and giving me this opportunity to share my thoughts on this particular topic. Now I hand it over for further proceedings to moderator as well as the members of the committee staff.
Sir, we have one question that what type of loans available for agriculture area, including fish, etc.?
You see, as far as the loan is concerned, that all depends upon the cooperative society those are running. For agriculture, how the societies are doing. Either they are society who are providing the loans or there are society who helps you in getting the raw material. So there are society who are known as a lending society or gift and credit society or a credit society. So they can seek the loans for the purpose of cultivations of their product. So they can get the financial money and they just spend the money for buying those items which are required. Some society only provides seeds or other assistance for cultivations of the product. So kind of the loan is not that much. What is your requirement and what is the policy of your cooperative society? That depends. Society can frame their own policy for what purpose they can give it. Sometimes they get a help from the district level banks or so. They get a loan from the bigger, district level banks, and they then distribute these loans to their members. And they are under obligation to recover this money and repay back to the main loans. So kind of loans is not defined as such. Any kind of loans, depending upon the activity.
Okay.
Yeah.
Um, we have one more question.
Yeah.
Just a final takeaway, like different cooperative society areas where CA can work, clarity of act, guiding authority, networking people to get the audit and accounting work, all point and precise and to the point. A kind of small summary.
You see, I told you that you think the cooperative society is not a small one. They require all the services as you do in the case of a Companies Act. Look for any area, auditing or accounting, advisory or assistance. Accounting is there or some, management advice is there, some auditing is there, not only state audit, it is internal audit, management audit. So you can help in all those areas. They are also subject to tax compliances, income tax return, VAT returns. So consider these cooperative society as your big clients. Of course, I told that there is certain limitations on statutory audit fees, but look for the bigger audit fees society, gift and credit society, because the fees are based on the turnover criteria or working capital. For this purpose, I have already advised go and attend the seminars where the cooperative societies representatives are coming or the department officials are coming. So we'll find and meet the peoples. Get yourself empaneled under the administrator as an arbitrator, as an auditor with the registrar of cooperative societies. Do advise your clients to form the cooperative society who's for lending purpose. if they have a members and they see the potential in that particular area. This is the nutshell, I believe.
One feedback that, sir, the information has shared by you was very useful and the session has been very fruitful.
Thank you.
Okay, sir. No more questions now. I'm not receiving any questions. So we can end this session. And thank you so much, sir, for this wonderful session and for all the participants who have been actively involved and asked the queries. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, everybody. And based to the patience hearing by all audience. Thank you.